clarifies it. Please, before that, Zaddy is different from Oga. Oga is different from
Alaji.
And Alaji is different.
He looks like in his room.
So please for us.
Oh, I'm not the guest.
No, so I'm asking.
But I mean, this we just threw in, okay, just to.
I still want to know what is termed as sugar daddy.
So okay, so these are the slang words in. Yeah. It's just a term that is has become a part of us, yes. All right. So Josephine, at what point would you say somebody is? Are they the same, except maybe they behave in different ways? And this, by the way, we are just letting our hair down and having a very fun conversation. So, who really are sugar daddies first? We describe that.
Well, I think who are very old and with money and are ready to exchange it for
a pleasure. Okay. So somebody who's old, who can afford and is not in love with you. Do they sometimes, if they can afford, if they have money and they're in love with you, would you still call them sugar daddy?
Yes. Yeah. Whether it's a feeling.
Okay, once there's an exchange or something. Maribel, do you agree?
Sugar is really old, because nowadays we find men in their 40s who are sugar daddies to girls who are 18, 19, 20 now. So I wouldn't necessarily say, because if you term the word old, then you are just...
Because it means that we're defining it according to which means year-old.
Yeah.
Sugar daddy, or is a role they are playing in your life?
I think the age is 30, 35 or 40, and you're still playing a significant role in my life. I wouldn't necessarily call you a sugar daddy. More of a partner, a supporter, or a destiny helper. That's it.
And I'm seeing a girl who's 19 or 20, and I'm able to take care of her needs. Do I qualify as a sugar daddy?
You know what?
That's what I think. Also, one of the things that we didn't add, or I think we should add, or if you can confirm that, is it also someone you can't be with? Or you can, because if you can be with the person, is the person still a sugar daddy? So let's say the person is old enough to be your dad, right? He's old enough to be your dad, and he can marry, in fact, he can marry you and wants to marry you and spend the rest of his life with you. He's not a sugar daddy, you see?
Expecting anything in return. I like to think that being expressive and very express and explicit with the definition of a sugar daddy, it is when I do something for you, you must know that you're giving me something in return.
It's an exchange.
It's an exchange.
That's what makes it.
Whether it is companion, whether it is sex, whatever it is. But if it is expressive that I love you, you love you, and we are in a relationship, then I can't see how...
When there's a term defined.
When a term is defined, I can't see how that will be...
Yes, sugar daddy.
Relationship, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But in most cases, right, you find or meet sugar daddies who don't even want anything from you. Not anything sexual, like nothing like that. They just...
Most cases?
Yes.
In most cases?
Yes.
Wow. That's the first time I'm hearing that.
Yes, I've actually seen one like that, not me.
That person's not sugar daddy. The person's just helping you.
No,
she...
Destiny helper. Yeah. That's a destiny helper.
That's a destiny helper.
Yeah.
But
what does a destiny helper do?
More of support your vision and goals in life. Make sure he's able to put you on that platform that you see yourself.
It gives you access.
Yes.
It gives you
But
access.
they are not asking
Financial
anything in
stability.
return. Financial
Yes.
stability is a perfect
Yeah.
description.
Yes.
But they're not asking for anything
Yes.
In
in
return.
return.
They
Then
just
surely-
they just
Destiny
find
helper.
pleasure in
Yeah.
helping.
Oh, that's one. There's God sent.
Yeah.
That's a
God
destiny.
on
That's
earth.
a destiny
Destiny helper.
helper.
Okay,
Yeah.
then that one they're not
Taking
on
it
this
out
table
of their
today.
lives and the rest, they'll die. And, yeah.
No, but I don't know if you guys recently saw a post on Twitter where this girl was in a relationship with a man, and she posted that he sent his wedding videos and photos to her to pay her because she said no to his marriage proposal, though he was her sugar daddy at the time before she said no to his marriage proposal. And she was like, why would you try to? I would never marry somebody that's old enough to be my father. And I'm like, okay, so
Dating.
you were dating him. You were going on the trips. You were taking the gifts.
Exchanging
You were
whatever.
taking the gifts to the house. You were giving gifts to your parents. Your parents, in fact, were benefiting from it. So, like, make it make sense.
Which means that the man had a different mindset in the relationship, and the girl also had a different mindset.
She
in the
was for the money.
She was for the money.
She knew she was going for she had a goal. She was going for the goal. Maybe her goal was met and she had to, like, move on.
Okay.
Yes.
So the man who was playing that giving role and all of that wanted to marry her at some point.
Eventually. Yes.
At that one, it's a sugar daddy growing into wanting to be a husband.
But then, I think that it is very essential for both parties to come to a mutual consent, to be clear with their goals. Okay, I am just in for the money because I need financial support at this stage of my life. And the man could also go like, okay, I also need companionship. I need, sugar
Basically
treatment.
paying for what they
Yes,
they think they
you
need.
should be able to come to a mutual consent. That way, I don't think what Mirabel is saying could happen
Is
because
it necessary?
Yes.
Sugar daddy is necessary.
well,
Is it wrong in the first place? Is it wrong?
well, it is not wrong. It is not right.
Let's see whether it's
It
necessary.
depends on.
It's not wrong and it's not right.
It's
So where
not
is it?
wrong and it's not right. It could be wrong for me, or it could be right for me. It could be wrong for you. You are entitled to your own
So we
opinions
can
and what you
generalize it and
think.
say that
Yes,
sugar daddy is wrong.
yes.
Depends on who is in it.
Yes, it
Okay.
depends on the society that we live in. I mean, some society see this as a normal thing. Okay, I don't really care if my daughter or my family, my daughter is seeing an older person, and this older person is helping her in a way. I don't really
Which
mind.
society is this?
I'm just, for all you know, there might be societies like that.
Basically, there are groups and there are people that do not vehemently frown upon it.
Yes.
They allow it to
People.
happen.
Yes.
I mean, people
Yeah.
then form a society. It
People.
can just be just a some
Society is a
small
group of people, right?
Yeah.
So people is a group, isn't it?
But then, I mean, the world is growing now, right? And things are changing forms. Things are, what could be a taboo back then,
May not be
now, yes,
now.
How
will
did
not
it
be
come
the
about?
case now.
Mirabel, how do you think sugar daddies came about?
Time immemorial.
How do you think it started? If you think about it carefully.
Well, it is.
Was it just men who could afford to pay for things they desire and want? Or was it just women who just knew that they have made sex the highest currency for them, and so if I put
Using
it
their
up
body
for
as
sale, I can get
exchange,
some
yes.
benefits? Because I think it must be up for sale before somebody can want to purchase it, isn't it?
But there are certain
that.
times where you are approached physically and you are asked questions like, "Are you like? Do you want to date me?" Because there are times where you be like, "Well, you're married," and you're like, "No, I'm married, yes, but still."
Not all married men come into a relationship because they are playing sugar daddy roles.
Yes.
That's true.
No, they are not playing sugar daddy roles. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So we're talking about the sugar daddy itself that has the money to, I can afford it.
Okay.
But what are you affording? Something must be available on the table.
Like you said. Yeah,
Do you understand?
it's
Something
being
must be up
available.
for sale.
It's being showcased that it's up for sale. Like I can like I can probably I want something, right? And I would say I see him like I would like you could be my sugar daddy.
Because
Yes, and then I try to get his attention because I know probably they do.
Do women try to get the sugar daddy's attention?
They do.
But it's the sugar daddy that will
No, they do
offer
because
it to you.
there's no way
Or it happens
I can
naturally.
gain his attention if I don't do something. Because he could be so engrossed with whatever he's doing or his mind is elsewhere. But I would have to do something to draw his attention to me.
Josephine says it's not true. Josephine doesn't want you to learn.
That is never true.
But it's true.
I mean,
It is.
so you mean a girl will practically, or you would practically walk into someone's face with the intentions of being seen by this person just so you could, have that transaction
not an
between
if
you
not?
guys? To me, it's not logical.
If a very rich man that you know is very rich, publicly known that he's a very wealthy person, walks into the studio, and you see this person pass, and they're saying that, oh, that's this man, that's this man,
You
that's
would
this man.
literally.
No.
Like we said, it's individual. It doesn't mean
Yes,
you do it.
yes.
But so you can say that what she's saying is never true. It is true.
So she
Because
also
there are-
generalized it. That's why I said it's never true.
Right. So definitely, if you know, you get what I'm saying. You see where I'm
Yeah.
going with this one.
I
Yes,
understand
there are
you.
girls who will try to gravitate towards him, do whatever they can
As
to
for
get
the
his
how,
attention.
dear, as for how to become a sugar, how
How
to
to
start a
become a sugar
relationship,
baby.
it is so individualistic that.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
but the
And so
question.
she's saying that I have to do something to get his attention. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, are we answering the question of how it came about?
Yes.
Okay, so about the question
Okay.
of how it came about, I think sugar daddies, like he said, it's been time immemorial. Because if we all be true to ourselves, back then, they could, when a girl is of age, comes of age, they could just betroth her to
Somebody else.
Yes.
somebody else who is way younger,
older.
older,
Yeah.
as old that he could even be his
father,
father.
her father. Okay, and society never saw anything wrong with that. And actually, some families were, nurturing their child, were grooming their children
For
for
it,
that purpose.
yes.
So I do not think that right now that it has become
A norm.
a norm, like a fashion, people would. I think,
But that's marriage.
The difference
and we
is
have said
that
this
that
is
is
a
marriage.
transaction.
Yeah,
But if
you get
I
it.
want to go with you, if I want to really go with you and I want to come along with you, it's a transaction between two families, two parents.
okay,
They just did a transaction on your behalf because that young girl, whether she's betrothed, whether
Yeah.
she is in, whether she wants to be there or not, but she's been betrothed. So the transaction was done on her behalf. So that is some form of transaction. But I think that is us going deeper, and now going
yeah.
into anthropology. Let's have a very usual conversation.
Okay.
That sugar daddy, the one that, oh, nah, I don't love him. In pure honesty, I don't love him, but I need the help. As you have said,
this
I
is
need the help. Is that how it came about, or it was because men have the opportunity to make money more than women, and so they have a greater opportunity to offer?
yeah. I think
There must be an offer on the table for the woman to say that I'm taking this offer, whether or not they like it or not.
In most cases, I won't generalize it.
Okay.
Because it is mostly the men who make the offer. Because I could be, sitting and be thinking and then let's talk. Let's have this understanding. I know you don't like me, because there's a possibility even the sugar daddy, he doesn't like you, and he has 3 other ones.
As for that one there, it's a
Yes,
fact to keep here.
there are 3 other ones, so he's not going to love you, but he knows he's going to give you the financial help. So all he needs for you is there's a word I'm looking for. He wants the benefit. Should I say
The
no.
benefit that they can get.
Yes.
Okay. Let's change the scenario. If an older man gets you a job from somewhere that you've been wanting to get the job, right? They didn't give you money. They didn't buy you a house, but they got you a job by you having to compromise. Says that, oh, I can get you this job, but I like you. I think I like your legs, and I like to have a piece of it. Is that a sugar daddy move?
I don't think
There has to be money.
That's transactional.
There must be an exchange of money.
There must be a relationship. I mean, it's not a relationship. Could be the issue we are just talking about. It's not always the normal dating we all know. Yes, it's there should be a relationship, a mutual consent. Okay, so now you offered to give me a job, get me a job, and I offered something in return. And that's it.
And it ends there.
And it ends
Transactional.
there.
That would have been just 1 hour relationship that existed. Doesn't
So
matter how
I-
long the relationship.
I don't think it matters how long
So what
the
would that be?
relationship
What would that be
is.
called? If it's just that one that happened in 1
It's a
hour.
transaction.
But the whole
Like
sugar daddy
prostitution?
concept.
Like prostitution, I see a prostitute. Okay, I like your this thing. Take money. Give me this thing. We're done.
That's
And
for
go.
1 hour. The only
you
difference
So
is
it's not a
that,
relationship.
or a
It's
day,
not a
or a
relationship.
week. It is just that is 1 week and the other one is 10 years.
It's not a
I don't want
No,
to
that is
change
not
the
a
customers.
relationship. That
So
is
I
a
agree.
transactional.
Yes.
There's a transaction
so
process.
if it's, look, I can help you get this thing. This is what I want. You give it to me, we go. I don't think it's sugar daddy.
Okay, I can
don't
help
think
you
that-
be getting things that you need.
Yeah.
Then
This
it
is what
becomes a
I'll be
That is
relationship.
getting.
what-
Then it's a relationship.
Like it puts you in
What's
like
a
a
relationship? It's a
weekly
continuous
base.
thing. A
It's a
relationship is continuous.
transactional relationship.
A weekly base, a monthly base. You know, like I would change your
I
wardrobe
don't have a
2
relationship
times
with
a
a
year.
prostitute if I go to her and I say, you know what, I don't even have money, but I have this small car.
Just don't have a long-term relationship.
I don't, okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Let's understand the whole. What is sugar daddy? A person that gives you something you need and want, and you also give something in return. It could be sex. It could be anything, right? What you are also giving in return, but the person is giving you what you need. It could be money.
Yes.
Or it's just money.
Ideally, we are saying that it's not a one-time thing.
Yeah.
It is not a one. If it's a one-time thing, then it's not a. It is not. It's not a relationship. You know what? I'll look for the definition of a relationship, but it's not a
In fact, I
relationship.
noted something here
Okay.
on sugar daddy. I think I should read it. So a sugar dating relationship is when two people enter into a mutually beneficial agreement where one person provides financial support or gifts to the other in exchange for companionship or other agreed upon terms.
Okay.
It is important for both parties to communicate and establish clear boundaries and expectations.
Okay.
Not everyone sees sugar daddy relationships the same way. You know, we have our opinions. You express your opinions. So basically, I think once there is expectations, there are agreed terms that we both want to go by. It becomes a relationship, but in this end, it's continuous, right?
Your reading didn't say it continues.
It is.
Your reading didn't say. What's the source of what you read? Is it from the source? I see, but all I'm saying is that you can decide to have a one-time relationship with a sugar daddy. You see, it is because naturally, I think it is difficult for women to want to be switching. What are you looking for? If what you're looking for, you're getting it in one person, what's the point? But if what you're looking for, you're not getting it in one person, you take a piece and then you go to the next. This is why we think we're calling it prostitution in one case and the other one is sugar daddy. I don't know if you understand, but if I can get what I want in one person, one example, when a person is paying for the service of a prostitute, you can ask their name, you can choose not to ask their name, but there's consideration, there's agreement.
There's consent.
There's consent. There's a mutual understanding. Whether it is for 1 minute. It's just that the person, the two parties, they decide that I want to have it for 1 minute. And it ends there. The difference is that that person is the sugar, and the daddy is the fact that that person is older. And the person sugar.
Yeah.
But if the person is younger, what's the difference? I'm only thinking that the relationship you have with an older person and what you get from them is what we are using terminologies here,
To cover
sugar
up.
daddy, this and that. If you have a relationship with somebody you're not in love with, and there's a mutual agreement that I give you what you want, and you give me what you want, what's that? It's a transaction. And it's an agreement. It is the who is the other party that I see. If the person is below 18, then
Well,
But so I think we have decided that okay, this person we keep them permanently. The person is my permanent customer.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm not saying
Whenever
it's a
I need help, I call this person. This
because
is who
it's very
I'll
difficult
call.
to be chasing new customers,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
So
not easy.
because you don't love the person.
It's
do you?
true.
If
It's
you
not
love
an
the person,
easy
you
But
have-
there are cases where you actually.
now we have another conversation. Is that not the Zazie one?
Yeah.
Your boyfriend could be your zaddy.
Yeah, your boyfriend could be your
because
Zazie.
why do we call him Zazie? Where did the Zazie come from that we are calling him? He's playing a role of a daddy that has done Zazie things, right? At what point do you call your boyfriend Zazie?
Well.
When they played a role that mimics the role of
Of
an
a father.
organ.
Yes, exactly.
So we changed the D to Z.
Yeah, exactly.
Gen Z. Then we added the Z to
The daddy is not biological.
It's not biological, so we changed it.
They'll
eh?
change it.
Okay, but do you think it is necessary? Do you think that the women playing the services of a sugar daddy, or giving certain services to sugar daddy, is it helping? Is it something that is good?
Personally, I wouldn't. Okay, so this is
No
what,
judgment.
Okay, I'm not judging.
No judging at all.
Yeah, I'm not judging. So, if an older person is not married or probably divorced and wants me to be his significant other, I don't mind you. And if I like this man so much, and of course, if I'm getting something in return, why I would like to do that. But in cases where these men are married and you go and start making troubles for his marriage, that's I think
Have we not just made a cocktail right now? So because I don't think that everybody that's married has a man that is married is playing sugar. Not all the married men are playing sugar daddy
It's
roles,
actually
right?
becoming like a norm.
I mean, but it's a
Become a
norm.
norm.
Why should I date a married man when you are not sugaring me? When I mean,
Good question.
yes,
giving the
because you are
sugar.
not going to marry me.
Good question.
So if I'm not getting what I want from you, then
It's a waste of time.
it's a waste of time. Why would I want to do that?
So it means that you don't like the person. Then let's revert to your explanation of if I think I like the person and I'm in a relationship.
That's why I said if the person is not married or divorced, and I like the person, that is a different scenario.
Yeah, that's not on
Dating
the
a sugar
table.
daddy and dating a married man are two different things, right?
Yeah.
They're two different things.
They are two different things, I think.
We've established who the sugar daddy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
there are
but can
times-
a married man play the role of a sugar daddy?
Yeah.
If he's not old enough to be your daddy, if I was married and I was with you, can I play the role of a sugar daddy?
And you are playing the role.
Yes, like I'm giving you money, I'm doing all that, and
Of-
I'm married.
of course.
I'm a sugar daddy. I thought
Yeah.
you said that age plays a role in this thing.
No,
Okay, so
but-
you said
someone
a
who's old
person
enough
could
to
be
be
your
your daddy.
dad, playing the
Yeah.
role of your
Yeah,
dad.
of
For
a
example,
dad.
we know who a father is, right? The one that pays bills, your source, your security.
Your
You know,
figurehead.
Then
if
age
you
doesn't
call
matter then.
to
Because I can do all
maybe
that
we
without
use-
being old enough to be
yeah.
a dad. Then it doesn't
sure?
matter.
except that on the majority, we haven't seen a lot of young people being able to play the role of what your dad would have. I don't know if you can. It is only today that you find a 20-year-old being rich enough to buy an 18-year-old a house. In the past, when sugar daddy happened, you won't find an 18-year-old
So
having
you're trying
that
to
amount of
understand
money.
it.
I think that's why age played the role.
a major role. in
Yes.
So as we're having this conversation, can we establish it? If I am this age, I'm let's say 2-3 years older than you, I'm married, and I can play the role of your daddy. I can pay your school fees, I can get you a car, I can buy you a house. Do I qualify as your sugar daddy?
I think you're playing the role of a sugar daddy.
That
Yeah,
you're
you
playing
are.
the role,
So
but
then I
then
am a sugar daddy.
you are a zaddy.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I love that.
You're not a sugar daddy. You're a zaddy.
Okay.
Because you don't have a pot.
naturally.
You don't have a pot belly.
Okay, I forgot that one.
You don't have a pot belly.
Who is the chairman?
Chairman, no.
You don't go.
Yeah, you can't be a chairman. You can't be Odogu without that.
It has to be there.
What about allergy?
Hey, Alaji.
Most women don't like their sugar daddies, do they?
What?
Most women don't really have feelings for their sugar daddies.
They
do
don't.
Most women, I'm not saying most women.
They
I'm not
actually
generalizing it.
don't.
Okay.
No, most women.
When it starts,
They do not.
When you start with what we all now know, that it's a purely transactional relationship.
They do not.
You're
They
certainly
do
not
not.
going
They
in
do
because
not.
you're like.
Can
They
it, but
do
it goes. It can go into the.
It
Yeah, like
can.
You grow into something.
It
you
can.
becoming
It
like-
can.
liking
It's
the person.
possible, but
So if now you fall in love with a person, it's no longer sugar daddy, because then if the person comes, the person will not be in a hurry to want to buy you a house because now we are in a relationship anyway.
There are so many dynamics to it. If you fall
So
in love with
many.
this person and the person is married, he still remains a sugar daddy because he's not going to marry you. He's not your husband. So he's playing the role of a sugar daddy and he's not your partner. Right? There's so many angles to this, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so confusing, and that's why I guess people haven't been able to say whether or not this thing is a good thing or it's a bad,
thing.
Yeah.
right? Because there's so many angles to it. So you
So
can't
many.
clarify.
If you started a sugar daddy because you're genuinely in need, you needed something, and on the real, if you had parents or if you had family that were going to provide what it is that you needed, you wouldn't have started that relationship. We are so clear that this is what you need. That's why you started the relationship. If you get it, should you leave or stay?
May I?
Please, America.
You mentioned if the parents are there to fund your bills, take care of you. Sorry to say this, but in most cases, the rich kids, they are the ones with the most.
Basically, they want more.
They are the ones with the sugar daddies.
Yeah, we can't determine how much more somebody wants, right? So
Yes,
you can't judge
because
them.
sometimes money can bring greed. They say you don't know your character until you have money in your
I want
account.
to have the money and know my character.
Yes, me too. You don't know your character. Some people just do it for greed, just do it because peer pressure, because people are. See, I've gone to buy Bond Street. Where is the Bond Street?
Yeah, so the
because you know,
factors
if you
that I
go
used
to
to
your
want
dad,
to-
your dad won't buy the Bond Street. So
They'll
your
buy
father
what you
asks you,
need.
that your coconut head, how can you carry the Bond Street on top of it? But there's somebody there who is ready to get you that Bond Street. Your dad might not want to get you an iPhone 15 because he doesn't see it necessary that you're 22. What are you doing with an iPhone 15?
Is that why they added the sugar to the daddy? Because ordinarily
Because
your dad will not provide
yes.
what it is that you were
The
thinking.
sugar is
So the
given.
sugar is what...
Yeah, so the sugar is
So what they are
giving
doing
you
is what makes it sugar.
Yes.
Yes.
So the sugar is coming.
I see. Josephine, so if you get what you want, should you stay in it?
I would leave.
How will you live?
Transactional, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're done
So
with the
that's why I
business
said it is very, it is important for us to set our expectation and boundaries. Okay. I am with you because I don't have anyone serious at this point in time, and I know you are married. We can't be together. So, do you agree that once I'm ready to move on, once I'm ready to be a wife, would you allow me to would you allow me to go? We have to, set that boundaries.
But what
And
is in it that can tie you? What kind of agreement is that?
Eh,
What kind of contractual agreement can tie you in that?
In most cases, the sugar daddies get very
Emotional.
possessive.
very.
Tell me
They
about
become
that.
very possessive. Like, so you want to get married and so you want to leave me.
Is it
Was
that
I
they're
not
not
there
able
taking
to-
care of you before your husband came
Is it that
along?
they're not able to quantify the service that you rendered with how much the consideration they give? Consideration means the amount of money that was paid. Because then, if you hold my hand and I say that is equal to the East Legon house, how can you? The value, yeah. So why do they get possessive? They feel they've invested more than what you gave.
What you gave, well, I don't know.
Or
'Cause
maybe
it's like
sometimes
your
it's
investment is
attachment. They
going.
become attached
Attached
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah. So it's very difficult for them to let you go like that.
Do you think that it is a sustainable venture for young women,
No.
or women at all?
No.
You think it's a sustainable
No,
one?
no. That is a.
What are the disadvantages in it?
I mean,
You go chop breakfast.
oh, forget about the breakfast.
No, but it's
In young
true.
relationships are still serving
Because
breakfast.
yes,
Actually,
but it will draw you from what you're supposed to go for. Like,
They rob you.
yes, they do.
Would you let's because there's no time. Would you marry a guy who says, you know what, I had sugar mommy or I had sugar mommies? Would you mind marrying a man like that?
Yes, I might.
You mind marrying a guy like that? Would you like a guy to marry you if you dated sugar daddies?
No.
You don't want him to marry you because you dated sugar daddies. So we can admit that then the sugar daddy thing is wrong, isn't
It
it?
has
First
adverse.
of all, yeah. First of all,
Have you
You'd
met a
have
guy
to.
who? Have you ever told if you dated a sugar daddy? Would you tell a guy if you meet him?
I would.
You would.
I would.
You would, knowing very well that it could affect
I
whatever
would.
it is that.
I
really
would. From the very
involving.
beginning, I would, because
Why are you telling him though?
I wouldn't want to start a relationship based on lies, because people know you.
He wasn't in your life when you were doing it.
Exactly. But
ma-
there are
it's
some
business you
people
were
who
doing.
their mind, it doesn't work exactly the way you maybe you think, oh, it's nothing, it was
But it was business you
transactional.
were doing.
It was
It's
business.
not like you're in a
so-
relationship and you're
but
a love relationship.
most people think that business, like, how can I look at this person? Sorry to say this, but I have an uncle, and my dad asked him, the way you're cheating on your wife, if your wife cheats on you, what will you do? And he said, he won't be able to sleep with her again, because whenever he's having sex with her,
You think about the guy who.
no, he was seeing the man's face.
That's part 2 of the conversation. We have to have that conversation. And
Well,
so,
established.
would you say that women who can really afford what it is that they need and are still depending on sugar daddies are just,
Selfish.
taking more than they can buy? It is really not necessary.
Probably.
And do you also think that men who can really they can give you the thing without pulling a molecule of hair on their skin and still want to? Well, you're not their daughter though. You're not their family member. And so if they can afford it genuinely and it doesn't harm them in any way, and they can see it as CSR, corporate social responsibility on their lives, and do you think it is also?
Yeah. First off, what was the first question?
You're
think that
taking
women who are
advantage.
taking-
Okay. Yeah.
See, if it is greed,
Greed, yeah.
Is it great if you're taking more? You've gotten whatever you want, but you're still
It
taking
is
Maybe
greed.
this person is attached.
Okay.
And in
So
most
attachment can make you-
cases,
It's
yes,
greed.
attachment could be a very crucial point.
Why are you so there?
No,
What are you still
attachment.
doing there?
You're attached.
What kind of
Don't
attachment?
act like
Carry
you've
your
never been
attachment to get a
attached to
brace
anyone.
on her.
Before.
Why? Is it chicken
Don't act
wings?
like that. Remember, are you not attached to me?
They say that a man's future matters to a woman, and a man's future matters to a woman, and then a woman's past matters to a
To a
man,
man.
right? So advising, advice again, like we said, we are not judging, we don't have the right to judge, but individually, if you were to advise, would you, no matter the circumstance, look, we can give reasons. My mom is in the hospital, I need money to do this and all that.
School fees.
It's life, it's happening, but
Coming.
no matter what.
Gordon, add this to your question. The past of a woman matters to a man. What if, yes, you had a sugar daddy, but all the sugar daddy wanted was, baby, sit with me and let's just
It's
chat.
not true. It's not true.
It's
What
true.
if?
It's not true.
Why have you been a woman before?
It's not true. It's not true. Why? Because,
Why
it's
you
not,
feel mad?
because you've not met women.
It's
Because
so
you've not met
true and
women and
possible.
they've not spoken.
No, but have you been a
Why
woman
is
before?
true? It's
Out of 10
possible.
women.
No, let's just-
Out of 10 women.
I'm
No,
saying-
numbers
I'm
matters.
saying, you're what?
Out of 10 women, out of 10 women who had sugar daddies, how many of them will tell you that they never slept with your sugar daddies? And all the sugar daddy
Wait,
wanted.
that's not the
Hold
question
on,
I'm
hold
asking.
on.
That's not
No,
the
wait,
question I'm asking.
What are you asking?
The question I'm asking is that, because you're asking me, if the past of a woman matters to a
Very
man,
much.
we're talking about that man particular who is asking the past of a. We're not talking about all men and women, right?
Oh, I mean, we're,
But one person- I'm
we're
just
generalizing.
asking,
We're generalizing it.
will it
We're
matter?
generalizing it that
But will it
a
matter?
woman's past matters to a man. Just as if you're going to be with a man and you don't think he has a future, you won't be with the man. If you don't think he has a future, let's be honest. All women, you meet a man and this guy is not going anywhere. You don't want. Generally, women don't want to be with the man. No, if I'm lying, tell me that
You're
I'm lying. Right?
Don't
Exactly.
feel sure.
And it's the same thing for a man. I'm not saying that every man will not be with a woman who's been with a sugar daddy. I'm also saying generally, a woman's past matters to the man because he's looking at
What's happening?
same thing as the
behind?
man's future matters to the woman. So I'm asking, based on this, would you advise a woman, right? No matter the circumstance, what would be your advice? And I'm saying no judging, frankly speaking, because we want to establish whether the question is sugar daddy a necessary evil. What would you advise a young girl to do? Tough, isn't it?
Very tough.
Tough. That's the
But
essence of my question.
at the end of the day, do what you
There you
think
have
is
it.
right. If you think it's evil, back out of it. If you think it's right and it helps your cause,
That's all.
jump on it.
That's all.
If a man thinks that what happened in your past is what determines what he wants to be with you, what he wants to do with you, so be it.
Yeah.
Because it's your past.
Yeah.
What can you do
And
to
if a
the
woman
past?
thinks
Because
that
he
your future
also
is
has
not
a
bright
past.
enough, it's
What
a
you have
problem, isn't
control
it?
over, what you
He
have
also
control over
has
is
a
the
past
past.
also.
What you have control over is the future,
It's the
not the
future,
past.
not the past.
I
And
mean, but
besides,
you don't
so
know what the
that's-
future holds, do you?
You don't.
No, but you don't
Exactly.
have control
So
over
you see a
it.
man and you don't know where he's going. He's trying, and you don't think that. You think that this guy is not going anywhere. He might turn out going somewhere. So you also don't have that.
That's might.
That-
At
that-
least you see
That-
the
that's a
person that's
big
putting in the effort,
comma
right?
there.
Yes, but,
But if
it
you're using
matters.
the same
Character,
yardstick to
character
measure
is important.
the past
Yes, because there are
of a
women
person.
who could have done it but didn't do it. It also matters. Do you understand?
But that's established.
And we are
Yeah,
life
so
and
you all have
breathing.
control. Future, past, you all have control. What I do today will become my past in the next 5
What
years.
about the
Yeah.
woman who didn't want to do it and yet had to do it?
I don't know what yet had to do. That's why I
Exactly
don't
our
judge.
point.
That's why I asked the
Exactly the
question.
point.
And I said, she said, do you, man? That's what she said. That's the question.
So I think that sugar daddy, in my closing remarks, I think that sugar daddy, whether it is for 10 years or 1 minute, it's transactional. It's still quite prostitution. Once you're doing something that you have to be paid
Pay
for.
for.
Yeah, once it's payment, right? If you're sleeping with the person, payment. But if it is organ, put your hand on my stomach. Yeah. But anyway, guys, that's just about it. Sugar daddy, necessary evil. Ball is in your courts. We have Foodie Friday.